Mr. Devanand. He's Chairman, Managing Director of Concu Cleantech India Private Limited. I welcome Mr. Devanand and I request him to share his ideas, share his, your plan and as well as your solutions to solve the problem. Over to you, sir.
Thank you and good afternoon, everyone. So today I'm going to present one of the innovative solutions for the plastic waste. So our just go to the next slide, please. Yeah. So this is the plant which or technology I'm going to talk about is the micro decentralized pyrolysis system. You might have heard that worldwide there are many pyrolysis plants which are converting the tires and the plastic waste into oil, and there are different centralized plants which are running on a continuous mode as well as on the batch mode. Now, our micro decentralized approach is to convert small quantities of plastic. As you know, plastic is quite voluminous, but the density is lower. So it gets accumulated and ends up in the landfill and all unauthorized places. So it's better to have this micro decentralized system which can be set up in each and every ward. Then and there, trying to address these waste plastic, which can be converted into useful resources, which is the pyrolysis oil, which can be a direct substitute to the furnace oil by the industries. Next slide, please. The process is very simple. It's just, we can call it as a reverse process where the plastics are produced using the crude oil, and we are just reversing the same process by thermally cracking this. So we go with a slow pyrolysis process under batch mode, which can break this hydrocarbon chains, and you get a syngas, and the syngas can be condensed and the pyrolysis oil can be taken. And also you'll get a char based on the composition of the waste and nature of the waste. You also get a green coal, or we call it as a pyrochar or carbon black. And also a syngas, which is used for, again, for heating up the whole process, because you need a lot of heat for this process. Or this can also be used for the other applications of running a small gas engine as well, because this has a very decent calorific value as well. Next slide, please. These are the various byproducts which you get. Predominantly, it is pyro oil, which has a very good calorific value, about 10,400 kilocalories per kg. So this can be used in many industries, because many industries, they try to use furnace oil for their steam boilers, furnaces. So the municipalities can find out the industries which are located in that particular vicinity, and they can supply to them. And this is this can also save and which can be priced lesser and cheaper than the furnace oil, and having a better calorific value as well. So this can be a direct substitute to furnace oil. And pyrochar, which is again what you're going to get is again we call it as a green coal, which has a calorific value of about 3,500 kilocalories, can be used for as a fuel in the nearby industries. Pyrogas can be used in the process itself, and excess can be used for even generating small amount of power by coupling it along with the syngas generators. Next slide, please. So the approach is why we have to go for a decentralized. We know that about 60% of the plastic waste gets recycled in some other form or upcycled. Leftover is about 40%. Some end up in this unauthorized landfill areas and ends up in the nalas and creating a lot of blockage. So it's better to manage these type of waste at source itself, reducing this logistics, and it can also reduce the unauthorized dumping and ease of operation, because when it is a cluster based, you have this small decentralized unit at several places. It becomes easier to operate such smaller system with less expertise, and it also generates revenue in that particular panchayat or the semi-urban areas, and can create job opportunities and livelihoods, and as well as saves the environment, because we are going to reduce the carbon footprint on the whole. We are reducing the logistics as well and trying to address the plastic issue at source. Next slide, please. So this is the one unit which is about 200 kilograms per day. This is a standard unit which we have set up at in Tamil Nadu, in a municipality called Karunguri, which is about 90 kilometers from Chennai. This is a totally a skid-mounted system, and which is operated on batch mode. We made it very simple. We have not included many sophistication in the system, but it's because we know that the skills what is available in that particular region would be less. So we need to make it very easy to operate. So keeping that in mind, this is a manual operation, and it's a low operating cost and low footprint. And this can be relocated anywhere because the complete system is skid mounted, and you can shift it anywhere you want. And it can handle all the waste as it is when we are taking it. We don't pre-process it. We just dump it inside this and try to kickstart the process. Next slide, please. And these are the various feedstocks which can be used. All polyethylene, polypropylene materials can be used, and a mixture of all these different feedstocks can be used. And the output may vary from 30% to up to 40%, and the calorific value also based on the mix of this plastic waste, it keeps varying a little bit. And we have carried out some of the trials in our lab to check on the various calorific values, what we get for different types of feedstock. So we have some data about the different types of feedstocks and the proportionate amount of yield as well as the calorific value. So we can customize the solutions based on the feedstock which is available, different mix of feedstock available in that particular region as well. Next slide, please. This is the pyro oil characteristics. You can see on the pyrolysis fuel oil characteristics as well as the furnace oil, which is almost calorific value wise, it is almost equal. And this will be a direct substitute to this, and it has a lesser ash content, and price is also the lowest when compared to the furnace oil. So it is now sold at about 35 rupees per liter, whereas furnace oil is around 44 to 45 rupees. Next slide, please. This gives a rough overview about the energy and mass balance of this reactor, because the pyro reactor for a 200 kilograms of waste plastic, the temperatures what we maintain in a pyro reactor is about 300 to 350 degrees Celsius. So you get about 30% of it as pyro oil, 35% as pyro gas, and 35% as the pyro char. So you need an input energy. So since it's a small unit, they are micro decentralized, we use the briquettes, or you use the fire hoods, whatever is the source which is available locally, some biomass that will be using for initial heating. So this would give about, if you take a 200 kgs of waste plastic, where you need about 20 kgs of biomass, then it can give about 300 kgs of pyro oil and 350 kilograms of pyro char and 350 kilograms of pyro gas. So everything is a useful resource which can be utilized. Next.
Mr. Anand, quick handshake, please.
Yeah, sure. And this is just to give a rough overview about the operating model, and you can see the capex which is involved for setting up a 200 kg system is about 15 lakhs. And I've just shown this. I think this slide could be shared later on. By and large, in nutshell, it shows that it has a very good attractive ROI of about 2 years. So that makes this project also viable. The micro decentralized approach also viable. And the funding pattern can be, the local municipalities can have this capex in their municipal limits. And there are also Panchayat funds which are available, and NGOs and CSR funds are available which can be used, and industries who are creating the plastic pollution can offset by bringing this under a CSR activity. So a synergy could be set up and a different business model could be set up in each and every place. Next slide, please. So we also do have a test facilities. So we have an eco lab where if we can send the waste plastics also, we can try it out, different combinations, and give you the results as well before going into the project. And currently our projects are running in, we are kickstarting a project in Aruppukottai where we are converting a 1 ton per day waste plastic into diesel, where it will be used as a transportation fuel by a private company. And Patna Municipal Corporation, we are installing a 4 ton per day on a continuous mode system. And 5 tons, there are 2 export projects also, which we have, it's under process. One is in Africa, the other one is in Philippines. We are going to export. Next slide, please.
So we'll have to conclude it now, please.
Yeah, so 2 more slides. And yes, this is truly sustainable. You might have seen the economic aspects of it and the environmental aspects of it, because it's a clean resource which can be used, and it can curtail the emissions, and it also can create a low cost fuel and employment opportunities. So truly it is sustainable. Next slide, please. And this currently the micro decentralized plant is located in Tamil Nadu in Karmuri. We kickstarted, and even the local corporation is trying to replicate this model all throughout Tamil Nadu, and we are working closely with them for different models. As far as our organization is concerned, now we are into water, wastewater, solid waste, and waste to energy, bioremediation, and air pollution control. So this comes under our solid waste treatment. This is one of the technologies. So we work with different types of technology. So you can just go through our website, which is given at the bottom, and my email address as well. So next slide. So we feel that the perfect solution to plastic pollution would be this micro decentralized approach. And we can also scale it up. This is modular, and we can scale it up to larger capacity. But we want to restrict to this micro decentralized approach because it's easy to build, easy to operate, and easy to manage. Thanks for giving this wonderful opportunity.
So there are 2-3 questions, Professor Chari. Shall I mention these?
Yeah, please do that quickly.
So one question is, this has come from YouTube from Mr. Kanumala Budaya. He is also wondering about the process of plastic segregation being followed by this organization. Another question is by Ms. Harini Priya, who wants to know a little bit more about air pollution from pyrolysis and what about dioxins and heavy metal contaminants. And the last question is from Mr. Tigala Uday Kumar, who is asking about greenhouse gases and how are they reduced due to pyrolysis. So shall we request him to, Mr. Devanand, to answer, or can he put them in the chat box?
You can ask Mr. Devan, you can maybe comment on the air pollution related issue. That's one aspect you can comment quickly.
Yeah, so quickly to take this question, now the dioxins and furans are produced at a temperature of about 900 to 1000 degrees Celsius. So we don't use these temperatures here. So once you burn the plastic, you have these problems. Here we just do the pyrolysis, which is not a combustion. It is in the absence of oxygen, and the temperature patterns is about 300 to 350 degrees. So there is no emission of dioxins or furans in this.
And you have tested this, or the regulatory agencies have tested anything of this nature?
So, it has been tested, and we do have the reports as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. We will discuss this, and you may please respond to some of the questions with regard to pyrolysis in the chat box. Thank you very much.
Sure.